The Emperor protects, a mantra echoing through the annals of time, resonating across the vast expanse of imperial space, serving as a testament to the unwavering vigilance of the Lord of Mankind. From the majestic golden throne upon Terra he presides, a bastion of strength and order amidst the tumultuous currents of the galaxy. To his loyal subjects, he is more than a sovereign ruler. He is father, protector, the very embodiment of divine providence. In the teachings of the ecclesiarchy and the imperial cult, he ascends to the pinnacle of reverence, hailed as the supreme deity guiding humanity's destiny. Yet, amidst the adoration of his faithful, there exists a shadowy realm where the forces of chaos and their infernal minions plot and scheme. To them, the Emperor is not a beacon of light, but a harbinger of defiance, anathema to their twisted designs. For millennia untold, he has remained ensconced within the confines of the Golden Throne, his physical form bound by the ravages of time and decay. However, his spirit, undimmed by the passage of ages, continues to cast its protective mantle over the Imperium. Through the psychic conduits that permeate the vastness of space, the Emperor's influence endures, guiding the actions of psychers and instilling courage within the hearts of warriors. In the face of hidden threats lurking in the shadows, his vigilance remains unyielding, a bulwark against the encroaching darkness that seeks to engulf humanity. Once, the Emperor walked among mortals, a towering figure of flesh and blood. Now, his existence is sustained solely by the arcane technologies of the Golden Throne and the indomitable force of his will. Each day, 1,000 psychers willingly offer their lives to fuel the Emperor's essence, a testament to the sacrifices made in service to mankind's survival. In the aftermath of the heresy that sundered the Imperium, the Emperor made a fateful choice. He relinquished his own immortality, consigning himself to eternal vigilance for the sake of humanity's future. Across the expanse of the galactic empire, countless souls bow in reverence, their faith cementing the unity that has made humanity a force to be reckoned with. Under the watchful gaze of the Emperor, humanity stands firm against the myriad threats that assail it, from the insidious machinations of Xenos races to the malevolent whispers of chaos. Yet, even within its own ranks, danger lurks, as heretics and mutants seek to sow discord and dissent. In the wake of the heresy, governance of the Imperium fell to the hands of the High Lords of Terra and various regional authorities. Though their rule may be seen as draconian by some, it is a necessary bulwark against the encroaching darkness. For in a galaxy fraught with peril, only through unity and strength can humanity hope to endure. However, this mode of governance, while initially effective in consolidating power and maintaining order, has unwittingly led to a state of stagnation, both technologically and culturally, within the Imperium. The once vibrant tapestry of human achievement has been overshadowed by the creeping tendrils of despotism, casting a pall over the realms of progress and innovation. The ascent of superstition, religious fervor, and prejudice would likely have elicited deep concern from the Emperor himself, a leader who once championed reason and enlightenment. Despite the Emperor's physical detachment from the affairs of the Imperium, his presence remains an indispensable beacon of hope and stability. Though confined to the Golden Throne, he exerts his influence through sheer force of will, sustaining the Imperium's foundations amidst the tumult of the galactic stage. While he may not directly involve himself in matters of governance, his enduring strength imbues every facet of Imperial existence with resilience and purpose. In the ethereal realms of the warp, the Emperor's spirit endures, a luminous beacon amidst the swirling chaos. It is his unwavering psychic essence that fuels the mighty Astronomicon, a beacon of light that guides humanity's vessels through the treacherous currents of the Immaterium. For over 10 millennia, his physical form has languished within the confines of the Golden Throne, a silent sentinel in the face of relentless decay. Yet, despite the ravages of time, his spiritual fortitude remains unyielding, a testament to the indomitable will of a godlike entity. His psychic presence and unyielding force of cosmic magnitude serves as both shield and sword for the Imperium. Through the intricate web of psychic conduits that span the galaxy, the Emperor's guidance steals the resolve of psychers, emboldens the hearts of warriors, and thwarts the machinations of unseen malevolence that lurk in the shadows of the void. According to a theory steeped in the annals of ancient lore, the Emperor represents the culmination of humanity's psychic potential, a gestalt entity forged from the collective consciousness of early human psychers. It is believed that these ancient shamans, dating back to the Neolithic era, foresaw the encroaching darkness of the warp and sought to unite their spirits in a bid for survival. This momentous event, occurring millennia before the rise of the Chaos Gods, is said to have occurred in the region now known as Turkey, a cradle of civilization amidst the shifting sands of time. As humanity traversed the epochs, the immaterium swelled with the tumultuous echoes of mortal emotion, a tempest born from the depths of the collective subconscious. This psychic turbulence threatened to consume humanity as the souls of psychers became ensnared by the ravenous entities that prowled the warp's twisted corridors. In the face of impending annihilation, the psychers of Earth convened in a solemn council, their minds aflame with the urgency of salvation. It was amidst this crucible of desperation that the fate of humanity was decided. In a daring gambit to defy the encroaching darkness, the psychers resolved to merge their essences, transcending the boundaries of individuality to forge a new entity, the new man. With a solemn resolve, 1,000 souls willingly surrendered their mortal coils, their energies coalescing into a transcendent wave of psionic power that swept across the immaterium like a cleansing fire. From the ashes of sacrifice, a singular consciousness arose, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching shadows. And thus, a year later, amidst the hallowed halls of Terra, a child was born, a child destined to become the emperor of mankind, a harbinger of salvation in an age of darkness. The genesis of the emperor of mankind can be traced back to the ancient lands of Anatolia, where, amidst the pastoral rhythms of herding and cultivation, he came into being. Born into a family like any other, with parents, siblings, and the mundane routines of rural life, his existence was unremarkable in all but one aspect: his latent potential for greatness. Even from the earliest stages of development, whispers of his extraordinary nature could be discerned, as if destiny itself had woven a different thread into the fabric of his being. As the years unfurled, the child's innate abilities blossomed, imbuing him with a resilience and vitality that transcended mortal limitations. Through some unfathomable alchemy, his genetic makeup underwent a metamorphosis, granting him a semblance of immortality and safeguarding his soul against the predations of the warp. And as he journeyed through the passage of time, his psychic gifts burgeoned, a silent testament to the boundless potential that lay dormant within him. For 38 millennia, he walked the earth, a silent observer amidst the ebb and flow of human history. Initially content to watch from the shadows, he eventually could not resist the call to action, compelled by a deep-seated belief in humanity's capacity for greatness. Drawing upon the wisdom accrued over countless lifetimes, he became a beacon of enlightenment, disseminating knowledge and fostering progress wherever he tread. Yet, despite his monumental influence, the Emperor remained a figure of enigma and obscurity, cloaking his true nature behind the facade of an ordinary mortal. In myriad guises, he traversed the annals of time, assuming the mantle of leader, sage, and even savior when necessity dictated. From the heights of leadership to the depths of scholarly pursuits, he left an indelible mark on the tapestry of human civilization, guiding its course with a deft hand and unwavering resolve. Though his interventions were often subtle, the Emperor's impact reverberated across the ages, shaping the destinies of nations and empires alike. In times of crisis, he emerged as a guiding light, steering humanity away from the precipice of annihilation and towards a brighter future. And yet, even as he toiled in the shadows, the machinations of the warp continued to churn unabated, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the galaxy's fate. Understanding the insidious influence of the burgeoning chaos forces on humanity's darker inclinations, the future emperor dedicated himself to fostering peace and harmony on ancient Earth. Despite his best efforts, he found himself unable to eradicate the inherent traits that defined human nature, such as ambition, conflict, and the pursuit of power. While some of his endeavors bore fruit, others resulted in unforeseen consequences, giving rise to ages of turmoil and bloodshed. As the warp began to stir with the nascent consciousness of the chaos entities, the Emperor's presence drew their ire. Though not yet fully sentient, these malevolent forces recognized him as a threat to their burgeoning power. The first among them to achieve awareness was Khorne, whose dominion over warfare and bloodshed plunged ancient Earth into an era of unrelenting conflict. Soon followed Tzeentch, whose manipulative schemes sowed discord and mistrust among mortal realms. With the emergence of Nurgle, the Lord of Decay, pestilence and disease ravaged the world, claiming countless lives in a macabre tribute to their newfound master. Each Chaos God embodied a facet of the human psyche, their rise leaving an indelible mark on the fabric of reality. And as their influence spread, the Emperor found himself locked in a perpetual struggle against these malevolent forces, a guardian of humanity's fragile existence. As the millennia unfolded, the Emperor's psychic abilities grew ever stronger, granting him glimpses of the looming threats that awaited humanity among the stars. With unwavering determination, he dedicated himself to discarding humanity's future, determined to lead them to a destiny where they would reign supreme in the galaxy. Yet, as the dark age of technology drew to a close, a new threat emerged in the form of psychic mutants, their powers unchecked and their allegiance uncertain. This influx of psychic individuals precipitated catastrophic consequences, plunging humanity into the depths of the Age of Strife, where anarchy and chaos reigned supreme. Amidst the turmoil of this dark era, the Emperor recognized the need for direct intervention in human affairs. With the collapse of the Eldar civilization and the awakening of Slaanesh, the final Chaos God, the barriers that had long hindered humanity's progress began to crumble. Seizing this opportunity, the Emperor emerged from the shadows, determined to lead humanity away from the precipice of destruction and towards a future of greatness. In the vast expanse of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, the origins of the enigmatic figure known as the Emperor of Mankind remain shrouded in mystery. Despite the paucity of information regarding his existence prior to the unification of humanity, one fact remains indisputable. The Emperor's immortality and unmatched abilities set him apart as a singular force in the galaxy. The earliest records of the Emperor's presence in Imperial annals harken back to the tumultuous final centuries of the Age of Strife, a period marked by chaos and upheaval on a galactic scale. Emerging as a pivotal figure during this turbulent era, the Emperor's influence began to shape the course of history in ways that would reverberate for millennia to come. Yet, for all the fragments of lore that speak to the Emperor's rise to prominence, the true nature of his origins remains a subject of conjecture and speculation. Among the myriad theories that abound, one narrative stands out, that of a humble beginning along the banks of the river Sicaria, nestled within a Stone Age hamlet on the Anatolian peninsula. It was within this modest village that tragedy first struck the young emperor, as he grappled with the loss of his father to a tragic act of fratricide. Amidst the solemn rites of burial, a moment of profound clarity descended upon him, revealing the depths of betrayal that lay hidden within his own family. With a calm resolve that belied his tender years, the nascent ruler confronted his uncle, whose treachery had shattered their familial bonds. In a display of burgeoning power, the emperor stilled his uncle's heart with a mere exertion of his kinetic prowess, a testament to the unfathomable depths of his abilities, even in his formative years. Reflecting upon this pivotal juncture, the emperor would later attribute this moment as the catalyst for his understanding of humanity's innate need for order and structure. As the centuries unfolded, the emperor's journey towards unity and dominion reached its zenith with the unification of Terra at the close of the 30th millennium. Horus, the emperor's own son and primarch, would later recount tales of his progenitor's childhood spent amidst the rugged landscapes of Anatolia, further adding to the mystique surrounding the emperor's early years. It is a truth universally acknowledged that even before his ascension to the Golden Throne, the emperor stood as a figure of ancient lineage, his existence spanning countless ages and epochs. Bestowed with the epithet of the New Man, he embodied the collective wisdom of bygone eras, a living legacy of the shaman sorcerers and wise men who had once guided humanity through the tumult of terror's primordial epochs. As the emperor traversed the myriad pathways of his consciousness, memories from a multitude of past lives stirred within him, each one adding to the vast reservoir of ancient wisdom that he carried. With each passing moment, he melded these recollections with the experiences of his present existence, weaving together a tapestry of knowledge and insight that spanned the ages. In time, the emperor's journey led him to what is believed to be the cradle of human civilization, the first city established by mankind. Nestled amidst the fertile plains of ancient Mesopotamia, likely within one of the Sumerian city-states, he embarked upon a new chapter in the unfolding saga of his existence. Regardless of the myriad accounts that recount his origins, they all converge upon a singular truth. The emperor was unparalleled among his kind, a beacon of psychic might and potential. Some tales speak of the emperor's clandestine membership within the ranks of humanity's perpetuals, beings blessed with the gift of physical immortality, their bodies capable of rapid and efficient regeneration. Yet, the true nature of this remarkable trait remains shrouded in mystery, its origins lost to the annals of time. It is said that the emperor's existence predates even the era of humanity's prior stellar civilization, a time now enshrined in the annals of history as the dark age of technology. Amidst the swirling currents of this tumultuous epoch, he encountered entities akin to himself, among them a woman known as Olivia Sirica. Together with a cadre of other perpetuals, they embarked upon a journey that would shape the course of galactic history. Their voyage led them to the world of Molech, where legend holds that they discovered a gateway to another dimension, the Warp. It was here, amidst the shifting tides of the Immaterium, that the future emperor made his ingress into a realm of unfathomable power and peril. Speculation abounds regarding the nature of his dealings with the shadowy pantheon that dwelled within this realm, with some whispering of a clandestine pact struck in exchange for newfound capabilities and esoteric knowledge. It is believed that within the crucible of the Warp, the seeds of the Primarchs were sown, heralding a new era of galactic conquest and divine destiny. Upon his return, the Emperor entrusted Olivia Sirica with the solemn duty of safeguarding the portals on Molech, foreseeing a time when they would serve as conduits to the burgeoning human empire. Present-day scholars and historians dedicate themselves to the meticulous study of the imperial archives, delving deep in search of a more comprehensive account of the emperor's rise to power, beginning with the epochal unification wars that heralded the dawn of the 30th millennium. Yet the particulars of the emperor's ascent and the subsequent Grand Crusade that followed are shrouded in mystery, obscured by the passage of time and the veils of myth and legend. In the earliest annals where his presence is recorded, he is depicted not as a divine sovereign, but as a warlord amidst a sea of contenders, vying for supremacy amidst the chaos that marked the twilight of the Age of Strife. In his quest for dominion, the emperor orchestrated a series of martial campaigns, known to history as the Unification Wars, where his strategic brilliance and unmatched leadership led to the triumph of his forces. Among his arsenal were battalions of genetically enhanced warriors, such as the Geno 5-2 Ciliad, whose valor and prowess became the stuff of legend. Foremost among these fighters were the Proto-Astartes, later known as the Thunder Warriors, whose indomitable strength and ferocity contributed significantly to the Emperor's ultimate victory over the tyrants that ruled the fractured remnants of humanity. Yet, even in the wake of triumph, the Emperor recognized the need for a more potent army, one that could realize his vision of a united humanity. Following the decisive conflict at Mount Ararat and the subsequent campaigns across ancient territories, the Emperor's ambition was fulfilled, as unity was forged amidst the bloodshed and sacrifice of a decade-long struggle. Yet his aspirations extended beyond the confines of Terra, encompassing all the scattered colonies of humanity scattered across the stars. Aware that such a lofty goal would require drastic measures, the Emperor made the fateful decision to disband the Thunder Warriors, deeming them a threat to the newfound peace. Thus, the culling began, a grim chapter in history where the Emperor's decree led to the extermination of these once heralded warriors, paving the way for their successors, the Primarchs and the Legiones Astartes. In the official narrative, sanctioned by the Imperium, the Thunder Warriors met their end valiantly, with Eric Tyrannus, the mightiest among them, hoisting the Emperor's standard in a final act of loyalty before perishing in battle. Yet the truth of the matter was far more complex, as some Thunder Warriors, including Eric Tyrannus, managed to evade their fate, destined to play a pivotal role in the Emperor's grand design. Undeterred by the shadows of the past, the Emperor embarked on his visionary quest to uplift and protect humanity, journeying across the stars to unite all human strongholds under the banner of the emerging Imperium of Man. Embarking upon the vast expanse of the cosmos, the Emperor initiated what would become known as the Great Crusade, a monumental campaign to bring all human strongholds under the banner of the emerging Imperium of Man. In the wake of Terra's unification, he recognized the need for seamless interplanetary communication and established a division of astropaths known as astrotelepaths to facilitate psychic transmission across the voids of space. Central to his vision was the construction of the Astronomicon, a powerful psychic beacon fueled by the Emperor's own formidable essence and will. This pioneering navigational aid revolutionized space travel, enhancing the safety and reliability of warp jumps across the unpredictable expanses of the galaxy. The Astronomicon extended the reach of human civilization to the farthest corners of the cosmos, heralding a new era of exploration and conquest. Yet, the Emperor's crowning achievement lay in the creation of new legions, comprised of biologically enhanced superhuman warriors known as Space Marines. Building upon the foundation laid by the Geno soldiers of Terra's unification wars, these new contingents represented the pinnacle of genetic engineering and military prowess. In the ambitious Prime Arch project, the Emperor sought to fashion 20 superior beings, the Primarchs, who would transcend human limitations and lead humanity to glory. As the Primarchs matured, they emerged as unparalleled strategists and leaders within the Emperor's forces, their physical and intellectual capacities surpassing those of ordinary mortals. However, the Emperor's vision extended beyond mere genetic manipulation. Drawing upon the arcane energies of the warp, he sought to fortify the Primarchs further, imbuing them with abilities beyond mortal comprehension. The infusion of warp energies bestowed upon the Primarchs' powers and charisma bordering on the divine, elevating them to the status of demigods in the eyes of their followers. Yet, in his quest for supremacy, the Emperor unwittingly exposed his creations to the corrupting influence of the warp, setting the stage for a conflict that would shake the foundations of the Imperium. As malevolent forces conspired against him, the Emperor's grand design teetered on the brink of collapse. The exact circumstances surrounding the dispersal of the Primarchs remain shrouded in mystery, with conflicting accounts and speculative theories abound. Yet one truth remains constant. The Primarchs were torn from Terra and their father's guidance, scattered across the galaxy amidst a cosmic upheaval that would shape the fate of humanity for millennia to come. As the Primarchs were scattered across the galaxy, they found themselves raised in vastly different environments, each shaping their character and destiny in unique ways, setting the stage for the epic struggles that would define the fate of the Imperium. Faced with the loss of his beloved sons, the Emperor devised a new plan to fill the void left by their absence. Utilizing fragments of the Primarch's genetic material, he created a new breed of warriors known as the Legiones Astartes, imbuing them with superhuman abilities reminiscent of their progenitors and the Emperor himself. These Space Marines, spiritual successors to the heroes of the Unification Wars, became the vanguard of the Emperor's conquests, wielding their unmatched prowess in battles to liberate the solar system and beyond. Throughout their early campaigns, the Space Marines demonstrated their prowess both on the battlefield and in diplomatic negotiations, securing alliances with key factions such as the Mechanicum of Mars, whose technological prowess proved invaluable in the Emperor's cosmic crusade. With the dawn of the Great Crusade, the Imperium's reach extended across the stars as expeditionary fleets spread humanity's dominion to distant worlds. Led by the Primarchs, reunited with their father after years of separation, these fleets brought liberation to human colonies and subjugation to alien dominions, laying the groundwork for the emergence of a unified Imperium. Together, the Emperor and his Primarchs forged a galaxy-spanning empire, unifying thousands of worlds under the banner of reason and technological progress. Central to the Emperor's vision was the propagation of the imperial truth, an ideology rooted in rationalism and the triumphs of science over superstition. In his quest to eradicate religious beliefs and mystical doctrines, the Emperor led by example, personally overseeing the destruction of the last vestiges of ancient faiths on Terra. His confrontation with the priest Bladder symbolized the clash of ideologies that defined the Imperium's foundation, a struggle between enlightenment and ignorance, reason and fanaticism. Yet, even as the Imperium expanded, dark forces conspired against its unity. The Chaos Gods, threatened by the Emperor's ambition to impose order upon the galaxy, sought to corrupt his greatest creations, the Primarchs and their legions. Unbeknownst to the Emperor, the seeds of heresy had been sown, and the Imperium stood on the brink of a cataclysmic betrayal that would shake its foundations to the core. The Emperor, in his relentless pursuit of humanity's ascendance, articulated a doctrine that proclaimed humanity's rightful dominion over the galaxy. He argued that humanity, with its pristine appearance and unmatched potential for endurance, was destined to inherit the stars. Comparatively, other sentient races, like the Eldar, had proven themselves incapable of sustaining vast civilizations across the cosmos. Thus, it fell upon humanity to claim its stellar birthright. Encounters with alien species during the Great Crusade only served to reinforce the Emperor's conviction. Every Xenos race encountered either displayed aggressive tendencies or posed potential obstacles to human expansion and resource exploitation. In the face of any aggression or resistance to humanity's manifest destiny, the Emperor advocated swift and decisive action, eradication. He sought to instill this principle of human supremacy peacefully within all human societies, recognizing that without unity, humanity would falter in the perilous expanse of the galaxy. For the Emperor, the necessity of unity sometimes demanded conflict. Reflecting on the era of unification, he lamented the sacrifices made and freedoms curtailed in the wake of the expeditionary fleet's campaigns. However, he saw no alternative. Unity was paramount to safeguarding humanity and resisting the encroaching darkness of the warp. The doctrine of the imperial truth, which championed reason and scientific progress, also imposed stringent prohibitions. The creation of sentient machines was strictly forbidden, a lesson learned from the catastrophic conflict against the Iron Men robots during the Dark Age of technology. Furthermore, as the Great Crusade encountered civilizations reliant on artificial intelligence, they were swiftly eradicated to prevent any resurgence of mechanical rebellion. Similarly, the proliferation of psychic abilities among humanity raised concerns. Even the Emperor, with his unparalleled psychic prowess, viewed psychic mutations with apprehension. He understood that many lacked the maturity to wield such powers responsibly, making them susceptible to the temptations of the warp. As the Imperium expanded, it encountered worlds under the sway of mysterious sorcerers, practitioners of the forbidden arts granted by the Chaos Gods. These sorcerers, aligned with the Chaos cults, wielded powers that mirrored those of the Thousand Sons Legion, prompting scrutiny from figures like Mortarion and Lemon Russ. Mortarion, having faced sorcerers on his homeworld, understood the dangers of the warp intimately, voicing his concerns about the potential corruption posed by psychic abilities. Contrary to Russ's preference for direct physical confrontations, he regarded any reliance on cunning or deceptive tactics in battle as dishonorable. To him, The Thousand Sons' embrace of forbidden sorcery was an affront to the sanctity of combat, fueling his fervent advocacy for a complete prohibition of psychic practices within the Imperium. His disdain for what he perceived as dark sorcery ran deep, and he vehemently campaigned against the sanctioned use of any psychic abilities, viewing them as a corrupting influence on the purity of martial prowess. Russ's staunch stance against psychic abilities was shaped by his first-hand experiences during collaborative missions with Magnus's Legion. These encounters only served to deepen the internal division within the Imperium, threatening its fragile cohesion. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, the Emperor convened a momentous council, gathering delegates from opposing factions at Nicaea to seek a definitive resolution to the growing rift. At Nicaea, the witch hunters, led by the enigmatic Sisters of Silence, presented a litany of heinous transgressions committed by sorcerers, who were seen as future servants of chaos. Their testimonies painted a grim picture of mutants forsaken by their humanity and power-hungry individuals exploiting their psychic abilities for nefarious ends. The gathering was reminded of the catastrophic havoc wrought by unrestrained or demon-infested psychers during the tumultuous Age of Discord. Prime Arch Magnus the Red, representing the proponents of psychic abilities, argued passionately for their acceptance and development within the Imperium. He asserted that knowledge itself was not inherently evil, and that mastery over psychic disciplines could serve humanity's interests. Magnus emphasized that his legion, the Thousand Sons, had harnessed the mysteries of psychic powers for the benefit of mankind. Despite Magnus's compelling arguments, the Emperor ultimately decided to ban the use of psychic abilities, except for those deemed necessary for the Empire's functioning, such as navigators and astropaths. This decision came as a blow to Magnus and his supporters, leading to tensions within the council. The Emperor's decree also included disbanding all psi structures within the legions and halting the development of psychic abilities among the Astartes. This pivotal moment, chronicled in the Heretical Chronicles, marked a turning point in the Empire's history. It underscored the Emperor's determination to maintain control over psychic forces and preserve the stability of his realm, even at the cost of discord among his sons and allies. At the Council of Nicaea, a pivotal decree was enacted, forbidding psionic warriors among the Space Marines from utilizing their psychic abilities. To uphold the sanctity of the imperial truth and fortify unwavering loyalty to the Emperor, the institution of chaplains within the legions was solidified. Their solemn duty was to instill faith and bolster resolve among the Astartes, ensuring steadfast allegiance to the divine sovereignty of the Emperor. Once more, the Emperor issued a stern directive to Magnus the Red, commanding him to renounce his perilous pursuits of warp knowledge and occult practices. Though begrudgingly, Magnus acquiesced to his father's will, albeit harboring a simmering discontentment over the decisions made at Nicaea. Despite his dissent, he reluctantly committed to executing the Emperor's mandates, though the future of his legion, the Thousand Sons, remained shrouded in the machinations of the Dark Gods. For the subsequent millennia, the Edict of Nicaea stood as an immutable decree, shaping the Empire's policies regarding psi abilities and mutations. This prohibition endured for over 10,000 Terran years, casting a profound influence on the Imperium's approach to psychic phenomena. However, it was not until the cataclysmic events of the Horus Heresy that the ban on psi abilities was lifted, as the Imperium grappled with the dire necessity of harnessing such powers to combat the encroaching tides of chaos. A standard century into the Great Crusade, the Emperor resolved to return to the Golden Throne, embarking on a monumental undertaking to advance humanity's destiny. Utilizing a relic from the Dark Age of technology, the Golden Throne, unearthed beneath the sands of Mars, he envisioned the creation of the Imperial Web, a vast network of warp portals enabling instantaneous travel across the Imperium. This groundbreaking initiative promised unparalleled scientific and economic progress, heralding an era of unprecedented prosperity and security. Central to the Emperor's vision was the liberation of humanity from the insidious influence of chaos. By circumventing reliance on the warp, he sought to emancipate the human race from the shackles of psychic vulnerability. With mastery over the Imperial web, mankind would ascend to new heights, surpassing even the vaunted achievements of the Eldar. The unification of the Imperium under this grand endeavor would dissolve the barriers separating its worlds, fostering an era of unparalleled unity and prosperity. Yet, the realization of such a monumental project demanded utmost secrecy and vigilance against potential adversaries. The key to the web lay in the enigmatic construct of the Golden Throne, an awe-inspiring mechanism forged from an elusive alloy adorned with golden flecks. Positioned atop the majestic gateway to the web, this colossal throne served as the linchpin of the Emperor's ambitious design, facilitating access to realms beyond mortal comprehension. The sacred duty of safeguarding the web's construction fell upon the shoulders of the Emperor himself, compelling him to assume a more reclusive role, relinquishing direct command of the Crusades to his Primarchs. Entrusted with the monumental task of overseeing the Imperium's vast domains, the Primarchs led their legions with unwavering devotion, while the Emperor devoted his undivided attention to the realization of his grand design. The Emperor's decision to withdraw from frontline leadership marked a pivotal juncture in the annals of Imperial history, signifying a shift in the dynamics of power within the Imperium. Despite his absence from the forefront of battle, his indomitable spirit continued to guide humanity's destiny, ensuring its resilience against the myriad threats that lurked in the darkness of the void. Departing from the helm of the Great Crusade, the Emperor entrusted the mantle of military command to his most esteemed and beloved son, Horus, the illustrious progenitor of the Primarchs. Discovered on a planet teetering on the brink of annihilation, so proximate to Terra that conventional warp travel was unnecessary, Horus had stood by the Emperor's side since time immemorial, earning a special place in his father's heart. Through countless decades of shared triumphs and trials, their bond had blossomed into a formidable alliance forged in the crucible of conflict. During the infancy of the Great Crusade, they had waged war as kin, their unity serving as a beacon of hope amidst the chaos of the stars. The Emperor's timely intervention had once preserved Horus's life amid the fury of battle, a debt that the War Master repaid tenfold on numerous occasions. Notable among their exploits was the legendary showdown against a fearsome orc warlord of the Blackfist clan, a skirmish immortalized in the annals of Imperial history. It was Horus's valiant legions, affectionately dubbed the Luna Wolves, who stood resolute by their lord's side, turning the tide of battle in favor of the Imperium. Such acts of heroism and camaraderie paved the path for Horus' ascension to the prestigious role of War Master, a position of unparalleled authority and responsibility. Entrusted with the daunting task of leading the crusade in the Emperor's stead, Horus embodied the epitome of strategic brilliance and martial prowess. As the Emperor retreated to the sanctity of his palace, engrossed in clandestine machinations concerning the Golden Throne and the enigmatic web of the Eldar, Horus assumed command of the Imperium's vast armies, his leadership poised to shape the destiny of humanity. Yet, the Emperor's enigmatic withdrawal and the subsequent transfer of power to the Primarchs, veterans, and aristocracy sent shockwaves through the Imperium, sowing the seeds of dissent and discord. The Council of Terra, convened to implement imperial edicts and expand the influence of the Adeptus Administratum, heralded an era of sweeping changes. However, the Emperor's intentions remained shrouded in mystery, breeding resentment and suspicion among his genetic progeny. Unbeknownst to the Emperor, his actions inadvertently catalyzed a chain of events that would plunge the Imperium into the depths of heresy and betrayal. The ambition and rivalry simmering within the hearts of the Primarchs provided fertile ground for the insidious machinations of the Chaos Gods, whose malevolent influence festered in the shadows, corrupting the noblest of souls. As the Great Crusade pressed onward, the bonds of brotherhood frayed, paving the way for treachery and betrayal on a scale unseen before. Amidst the tumult of the galaxy, whispers of ancient legends and mystical lore echoed across countless worlds, each harboring tales of divine encounters and cosmic revelations. Among these, Colchis stood out as a crucible of faith and belief, its soil nourished by the fervent devotion of its inhabitants. For Lorgar, the Primarch of the 17th Legion, these myths held a tantalizing allure, beckoning him to embark on a quest for enlightenment amidst the stars. Accompanied by the stalwart warriors of the Order of the Gathered Sun, Lorgar ventured into the far reaches of space in search of elusive truths and enigmatic entities. His journey, spurred by a deep-seated thirst for understanding, offered glimpses into the unfathomable mysteries of the cosmos, revealing the existence of ancient deities, known as the Chaos Gods. As the veil of ignorance was lifted, Lorgar grappled with the revelation of a reality beyond mortal comprehension, where gods and mortals danced an eternal dance of power and manipulation. The seeds of disillusionment sown during Lorgar's pilgrimage to the fringes of known space would bear bitter fruit in the years to come. Though not yet ensnared by the tendrils of chaos, Lorgar had already begun to question the divinity of the Emperor, a notion exacerbated by a humiliating confrontation on Monarchia. In a stark display of his wrath, the Emperor chastised Lorgar for fostering a cult of personality contrary to the tenets of the imperial truth, igniting a spark of resentment within the Primarch's heart. Forced to bow before his father's imposing figure, Lorgar and his legion, the Word-Bearers, were subjected to stringent surveillance, their every move scrutinized by the watchful eyes of the Emperor's chosen enforcers. As whispers of dissent echoed through the ranks of the Astartes, the stage was set for a confrontation that would shape the fate of the Imperium for millennia to come. Deeply wounded by the Emperor's rebuke and spurred on by the counsel of his closest advisors, Lorgar Aurelian embarked on a journey of soul-searching and revelation. Driven by a fervent desire to ascertain the existence of the divine entities revered by the people of Colchis, Lorgar sought solace and enlightenment amidst the stars. In his heart, he harbored a conviction that the Emperor's dismissal of humanity's innate longing for the divine was a grave error, and he yearned to uncover deities worthy of veneration. Guided by the unyielding resolve of the Word-Bearers, Lorgar's quest for truth led them to the perilous fringes of known space, where the swirling tempest of the Eye of Terror loomed ominously. Amidst the ethereal whispers that echoed from the depths of the abyss, Lorgar discerned the sinister presence of entities born from the immaterium, their voices a harbinger of impending doom. It was amidst the chaos and turmoil of the Cadia system that Lorgar's suspicions were confirmed, as he beheld the echoes of ancient cults mirrored in the beliefs of the indigenous tribes. Undeterred by the warnings of his custodians, Lorgar chose the path of diplomacy and dialogue, seeking to understand the enigmatic natives and their curious reverence for the violet-hued abyss. It was amidst this primitive congregation that he encountered Ingetel, a priestess whose veiled wisdom held the promise of enlightenment. Little did Lorgar realize that his fateful encounter with Ingetel would mark the beginning of his descent into heresy, as she beckoned him to embrace the forbidden truths of the cosmos. In a ritual shrouded in arcane mystery, Ingetel shed her mortal guise, revealing herself as a vessel of demonic power. With chilling certainty, she guided Lorgar and his retinue into the heart of the cosmic maelstrom, where ancient worlds and fallen empires lay entwined in the fabric of reality. Here, amidst the relics of a forgotten age, Lorgar learned of the cataclysmic birth of a dark deity, born from the hubris of the Eldar and the folly of mortals. The demon's tale painted a grim portrait of cosmic betrayal and divine retribution, warning of the dire consequences of humanity's ignorance and defiance. As the echoes of the Eldar's downfall reverberated through the void, Lorgar and his followers gleaned forbidden knowledge from the remnants of a bygone era, their hearts entwined with the whispers of chaos. Returning to Cadia, Lorgar made a fateful decision to eradicate all trace of life from the planet, seeking to preserve the secrets of chaos for himself alone. Yet the planet's strategic significance would not escape the notice of the Imperium, and it would later become the cradle of a new breed of warriors destined to face the horrors of the Eye of Terror. Thus, The legacy of Lorgar's journey would endure, shaping the destiny of worlds and civilizations yet to come. In the twilight years of the Great Crusade, the forces of chaos sought to unveil the true nature of the universe to humanity. Initially, their efforts were driven by a noble intention to liberate mankind from the shackles of ignorance. But as time wore on, they turned to deceit and subterfuge to further their dark agenda. One of their most notable triumphs was the corruption of Horus, the favored son of the emperor. Recognizing that humanity would not embrace chaos willingly, they orchestrated a grand scheme to shatter the foundations of the Imperium. At the heart of this conspiracy stood Erebus, the first captain of the 17th Legion, and his co-conspirator, Aurelian. Together, they plotted to sow the seeds of rebellion and heresy, orchestrating events that would culminate in the fateful conflict known as the Horus Heresy. Their machinations led them to the highly advanced Interrex, from whom Erebus purloined the anathema, a weapon infused with the corrupting power of chaos. Armed with this unholy relic, Horus and his legion descended upon the moon planet Davin, unwittingly stepping into a trap laid by the forces of darkness. On Davin's desolate surface, the corrupting influence of chaos manifested in grotesque forms, twisting the once noble aspirations of the Moonwolves into a nightmare of betrayal and despair. In a fateful confrontation on the command bridge of a crippled Imperial vessel, Horus fell victim to the poisoned blade of the anathema, his mighty form succumbing to the insidious venom coursing through his veins. It was then that Erebus, ever the harbinger of chaos, whispered of salvation in the embrace of the serpent god, leading Horus down a path from which there could be no return. Thus, ensnared in the web deception woven by the dark gods, Horus was shown a vision of a future where the emperor, driven by hubris and ambition, abandoned his divine mandate to lead humanity to greatness. Blinded by righteous indignation, Horus pledged himself to the cause of chaos, rallying his legions to overthrow the Imperium and seize control of mankind's destiny. With each step he took, the galaxy trembled and the Horus heresy erupted in a cataclysm of bloodshed and betrayal. As the conflict raged across the stars, the Emperor remained bound to the Golden Throne, his psychic might strained to its limits as he battled against the forces of chaos. Yet, even in his darkest hour, he foresaw the inevitable outcome of the heresy, accepting his fate as a penance for his own failings. Meanwhile, his loyal custodians and champions fought valiantly to defend the Imperium, their unwavering resolve tested against the relentless tide of darkness. Amidst the chaos of war, the Emperor shared his wisdom with those who sought his counsel, imparting the secrets of creation to Corax of the Raven Guard. Yet even as he sought to empower his sons, betrayal lurked in the shadows, as agents of the Alpha Legion sabotaged Corax's efforts to rebuild his shattered legion. Despite the setbacks, the Emperor remained resolute, his gaze fixed upon the distant horizon, where the fate of humanity hung in the balance. 5 years elapsed since Magnus's ill-fated actions, and the toll on the Emperor became increasingly evident. The weight of his responsibilities bore down upon him, visible even to the vigilant eyes of the custodians who served him faithfully. It was during this time of growing strain that a formidable daemon known as Dracnian emerged from the roiling depths of the warp, heralding a critical juncture in the ongoing conflict. Sensing the impending threat, the Emperor made a fateful decision to harness the psychic potential of 1,000 psychers drawn from distant corners of the galaxy and channel their energy into the Golden Throne. In a solemn and somber ceremony, these willing sacrifices offered their lives to power the Emperor's intervention in the warp, shielding the Imperium's retreating forces from the malevolent entities that lurked within its tumultuous depths. With their sacrifice, the Emperor confronted Dracnian, engaging in a titanic struggle that reverberated through the Immaterium. Ultimately victorious, the Emperor trapped the daemon within the body of the custodian Ra Endymion, tasking him with fleeing into the labyrinthine recesses of the Imperial Palace for the safety of all. Yet, even as the Emperor emerged triumphant from this perilous confrontation, the toll on him was undeniable. Sealing the portals to the chaotic warp world, he found himself once more ensnared by the confines of the Golden Throne. With a heavy heart, he lamented the loss of his ambitious project, the Webway, which had promised safe passage through the warp. Now, humanity stood on the precipice of uncertainty, its fate entwined with the looming specter of chaos and the inexorable decline of the Eldar. Haunted by visions of impending doom, the Emperor foresaw a future wrought with betrayal and devastation. He recognized the inevitable rise of another traitorous Primarch, destined to lead the forces of chaos in their relentless campaign against humanity. Faced with the grim reality of his own mortality and the unraveling of his grand design, the Emperor confided in the custodian Diocletian Chorus, acknowledging the impermanence of the Imperium and the uncertainty of its future. As the heresy reached its zenith, the traitorous legions descended upon Terra in a cataclysmic assault, laying siege to the heart of the Imperium. Bound to the Golden Throne, the Emperor could only watch as the fate of humanity hung in the balance, his gaze fixed upon the looming threat. With Malcador entrusted to safeguard the Golden Throne, the Emperor marshaled his strength for one final decisive confrontation with the arch-traitor Horus. Leaving Malcador to hold the line, the Emperor led a valiant detachment of Astartes against the traitor's forces, determined to end the conflict once and for all. In a climactic showdown aboard the corrupted flagship, the Spirit of Vengeance, the Emperor faced Horus in a battle that would decide the fate of the galaxy itself. Surrounded by the echoes of betrayal and the tumult of war, the two Primarchs clashed in a cataclysmic duel, their titanic struggle reverberating through the warp. As the battle reached its crescendo, the Emperor's love for his fallen son stayed his hand, preventing him from unleashing his full psychic might. Yet, in a moment of unparalleled courage, a lone custodian broke through the chaos, standing as the last defender of his lord. Horus, now a puppet of chaos, struck down the faithful guardian with callous disregard, sealing his own fate in the process. With the death of his loyal custodian, the Emperor's resolve hardened, his determination unwavering. Channeling the full extent of his formidable psychic power, he unleashed a devastating blast that sundered Horus's very essence, eradicating his soul from the fabric of reality. In the wake of his victory, the Emperor was left to contemplate the cost of his triumph, the sacrifices made, and the bitter truths uncovered in the crucible of war. Rogal Dorn, the steadfast Primarch of the Imperial Fists, discovered his father, the Emperor, in a state of dire affliction, his majestic form marred by wounds that bespoke of titanic struggles. Bearing the weight of his sire's broken body, Dorn carried the Emperor to the sanctum of the palace, where Malcador the Sigillite, regent of the Imperium, stood watch. With a heavy heart, Malcador relinquished his stewardship of the Golden Throne, his corporeal form disintegrating into dust as he surrendered to the inevitable embrace of death. Transported to the throne room, the Emperor, in his final moments of corporeal existence, imparted crucial instructions to his loyal custodians. With solemn reverence, he directed the reconfiguration of the Golden Throne into a marvel of arcane technology, a life-sustaining apparatus that would tether his consciousness to the material realm for millennia to come. Through the intricate machinery of the throne, the Emperor would persist, his ravaged form sustained by the sheer force of his indomitable will. The modifications complete, the Emperor was ensconced within the labyrinthine mechanisms of the throne, his once majestic visage now a pallid reflection of his former glory. Yet, despite the decay that gnawed at his mortal frame, the Emperor remained resolute, his psychic presence a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Daily, the throne drew sustenance from the sacrificial offerings of 1,000 psychers, their psychic energies fueling the Emperor's eternal vigil against the encroaching forces of chaos. As the millennia passed, the Emperor's corporeal form withered, a husk encased in the gilded confines of the throne. His consciousness, however, endured, a sentinel in the materium, steadfast in its defense of humanity against the predations of the warp. Through the sacred texts and rituals of the Imperium, the Emperor's sacrifice became enshrined in the collective consciousness of billions, a testament to his unwavering dedication to the preservation of mankind. Yet, even as the Emperor's vigil persisted, the toll exacted by his eternal struggle grew ever heavier. With each passing day, the lives of thousands of psychers were consumed, their essences sacrificed to sustain the Emperor's unyielding vigilance. Across the void of space, the black ships of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica sailed, harbingers of doom tasked with gathering those destined for the Emperor's service. Under the watchful eye of the Adeptus Administratum, the doomed psychers were led to their fates, their destinies inexorably bound to the needs of the Imperium. For those who resisted, there was only the inexorable march towards oblivion, their spirits broken and their wills shattered beneath the weight of imperial decree. Bound to soul-crushing machinery, they became little more than vessels for the Emperor's sustenance, their lives sacrificed in service to a greater cause. Despite the ceaseless torment that racked his immortal soul, the Emperor endured, his unwavering resolve a bulwark against the encroaching tide of chaos. For he knew that his sacrifice was not in vain, that as long as he endured, humanity stood a chance against the horrors that lurked in the darkness. He was the Emperor of mankind, the last bastion of order in a galaxy consumed by strife and madness. And as long as he endured, so too would the Imperium, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. The unyielding reliance on his life force, the fervent desire to preserve his presence in the mortal realm, became the cornerstone of an unshakable faith in his divinity. This creed, embraced by the imperial cult, serves as a guiding light for the countless souls adrift amidst the vastness of the void. Within the heart of the Imperium, amidst its countless legions, only the Space Marines remain steadfast guardians of the Emperor's true legacy. They revere him as a visionary conqueror and the progenitor of humanity's destiny, yet they stand apart from the fervent religiosity that grips the galaxy. As the 41st millennium drew to a close, the galaxy quaked in the throes of unprecedented chaos, reminiscent of the darkest days of the Horus Heresy. Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade swept across the stars, laying waste to worlds and shattering the bastions of order. Cadia, the bulwark against the tides of chaos, fell, and the Great Rift tore asunder the fabric of reality itself. Amidst this maelstrom of despair, a glimmer of hope emerged. Robot Gilliman, the Primarch of the Ultramarines, returned from aeons of stasis, his awakening facilitated by the enigmatic Archmagos Belisarius' call. Revived and revitalized, Gilliman assumed the mantle of Lord Commander of the Imperium, determined to guide humanity through its darkest hour. His reunion with his father, the Emperor, on Terra, remains shrouded in mystery, yet his emergence heralded a new dawn for mankind. In the hands of Gilliman now rests the Emperor's sword, a relic of ancient power and sacred significance. Forged in the crucible of betrayal, this weapon embodies the hope and resilience of humanity, its blade a testament to the enduring spirit of the Imperium. With this revered artifact, Gilliman embarks upon the era of the Indomitus Crusade, leading humanity's charge against the encroaching darkness of the Noctis Eterna. Guided by the light of Gilliman's leadership, the Imperium rallies its forces for a new crusade, bolstered by the formidable Primaris Space Marines, a new breed of warriors crafted to combat the myriad threats that assail humanity. Alongside these champions of mankind, the galaxy witnesses the emergence of saints, whose miraculous deeds seem to echo the divine will of the Emperor himself. Yet, even as hope flickers amidst the encroaching darkness, whispers of uncertainty and fear linger in the hearts of the faithful. The Adeptus Mechanicus, guardians of ancient knowledge and custodians of sacred technology, stand before the High Lords of Terra with dire tidings. The Golden Throne, the venerable mechanism that sustains the Emperor's life, teeters on the brink of collapse, its secrets lost to the annals of time. In a cruel twist of fate, the Emperor, once the beacon of enlightenment and liberation, has become an object of veneration, worshipped as a divine figure by those he sought to emancipate. As the Imperium teeters on the precipice of oblivion, the fate of humanity hangs in the balance, its survival contingent upon the resolution of the Emperor's own precarious existence. Even before the flames of heresy engulfed the Imperium, Lorgar Aurelian had already sown the seeds of his divine aspirations. In his seminal work, The Lactatio Divinitatis, he foretold the apotheosis of the emperor, envisioning a future where humanity would bow before their immortal ruler. Within its pages lay the proclamation that only a deity could command the allegiance of countless worlds scattered across the galaxy, guiding them with wisdom unmatched by mortal minds. This doctrine, infused with reverence and awe, found resonance among the masses, inspiring the formation of cults that worship the emperor as a god incarnate. The fervor of the faithful grew, their devotion fueled by the words of the Lactatio Divinitatis, which they held sacred. These early adherents, drawn by the promise of divine enlightenment, embraced their newfound faith with zeal, gathering in secret conclaves to extol the virtues of their immortal sovereign. Yet, their clandestine worship aroused suspicion and fear among the ruling authorities of the Imperium, who viewed such unorthodox beliefs as a threat to the stability of their domain. Despite efforts to suppress the burgeoning cult, its influence continued to spread like wildfire, igniting the hearts of millions with the promise of salvation through devotion to the Emperor. The Great Crusade, intended to unite humanity under the banner of the Imperium, inadvertently provided fertile ground for the growth of this nascent religion, as crusaders and settlers alike embraced the tenets of the Lactatio Divinitatis, finding solace in the Emperor's divine providence. However, Lorgar's own descent into heresy cast a shadow over the burgeoning faith, as the once loyal Primarch turned to the malevolent forces of chaos in search of ultimate power. Despite his apostasy, the legacy of his teachings endured, taking root in the hearts of the faithful, who clung to their belief in the divine emperor, even as the galaxy descended into darkness. Amidst the tumult of the Horus heresy, the faith of the emperor's devotees emerged as a bastion of hope amidst the chaos, providing strength and courage to those who stood against the tide of treachery. Their unwavering belief in the Emperor's divine guidance bolstered the defenders of humanity, enabling them to withstand the onslaught of their corrupted brethren and the horrors of the warp. In the aftermath of the heresy, the imperial cult solidified its hold over the Imperium, evolving into a vast and intricate web of religious institutions overseen by the ecclesiarchy. This organization, known formally as the Adeptus Ministorum, became the spiritual backbone of the Imperium, its clergy wielding immense influence over the hearts and minds of billions. With the establishment of the imperial cult as the state religion, the emperor ascended to the pinnacle of divine reverence, his will enshrined in the sacred scriptures of the ecclesiarchy and enforced by the might of the Adeptus Arbites. His once mortal form became the object of veneration, his every word and deed elevated to the status of Holy Writ. Yet, even as the emperor's divinity was proclaimed throughout the Imperium, he remained a figure shrouded in mystery, his true nature obscured by the passage of time and the weight of myth. To some, he was a god made flesh, a beacon of hope in a galaxy consumed by darkness. To others, he was a distant and enigmatic figure, his motives and intentions inscrutable to mortal minds. Regardless of the myriad interpretations of his divine nature, one thing remained certain. The Emperor's power transcended mortal understanding, his influence extending beyond the material realm into the very warp itself. As the spiritual guardian of humanity, his presence resonated throughout the immaterium, shaping the currents of psychic energy that flowed through the cosmos. In the eyes of his faithful, the Emperor's sacrifice upon the Golden Throne was not a defeat, but a triumph of divine will. Bound to his shattered body, his spirit ascended to the warp, where it now stands as a bulwark against the encroaching forces of chaos. From his celestial throne, he watches over his people, his immortal gaze piercing the veil of reality to safeguard the Imperium from its myriad enemies. Even in his current form as a disembodied spirit, the Emperor's influence remains undiminished, his presence felt by those who possess the gift of psychic sensitivity. Through the mystical cards of the Imperial Tarot, he communicates his will to his chosen agents, guiding them in their quest to preserve humanity's fragile existence amidst the terrors of the void. And though his physical form may be confined to the Golden Throne, his spirit roams the warp, a beacon of light in the endless darkness of the cosmos. The Emperor's sway over the material realm remains a subject of wonder and reverence, evoking profound awe among his adherents. Many attribute remarkable phenomena, such as the storm of the Emperor's wrath during the Age of Apostasy, to his all-encompassing will, seeing them as tangible demonstrations of his divine might. It is speculated that his ire was stoked by the despotic rule of High Lord Gorg Vander, whose actions imperiled the stability of the Imperium. Indeed, the Emperor's formidable presence in the Immaterium is regarded as humanity's safeguard against the encroaching darkness of chaos, his eternal vigil, a symbol of hope in a galaxy besieged by malevolent forces. The delicate equilibrium between order and chaos pivots on the Emperor's continued existence upon the Golden Throne. For millennia, he has endured unimaginable torment, his immortal spirit tethered to his throne, a silent witness to the decline of his once venerable Imperium. Despite his anguish, he remains steadfast in his resolve to shield humanity from oblivion, his unyielding determination a testament to his boundless affection for his people. Yet the passage of time has only deepened the despair, as the Imperium grapples with corruption, heresy, and the relentless march of decay. The vision of a unified humanity, guided by the benevolent hand of its divine ruler, has faded into myth, supplanted by the harsh reality of a galaxy on the brink of collapse. The Imperium, erstwhile bastion of strength and order, now stands at the precipice, its foundations eroded by millennia of strife and betrayal. Technological stagnation, intellectual regression, and religious zealotry have become emblematic of a civilization in decline, each passing century bringing humanity closer to the abyss. Yet, amidst the encroaching darkness, the Emperor's light endures, a beacon of hope amidst the gathering tempest. In rare moments of divine intervention, he extends his guidance to his faithful servants, imparting his wisdom and foresight. Though his physical form may be bound to the Golden Throne, his spirit transcends the confines of time and space, a guiding force in the tumultuous currents of history. However, even as the Emperor's influence wanes, whispers of prophecy and destiny reverberate throughout the galaxy, hinting at a future yet to unfold. Among these enigmatic beliefs is the Eldar's prophecy of the divine Ennead, Lord of the Dead, whose advent heralds the dawn of a new era. Though branded as heresy by the Inquisition, this prophecy speaks to a deeper truth, one that transcends mortal understanding. Central to this prophecy is the concept of the Star Child, a being born from the soul of the Emperor himself, destined to lead humanity into a new age of enlightenment. This notion is bolstered by legends of the Emperor's bloodline, said to span millennia and encompass countless dynasties. Though veiled in myth and mystery, these tales allude to a deeper reality, one that underscores the Emperor's enduring legacy and his pivotal role in shaping the destiny of humanity. His sons, inheritors of fragments of his immortal essence, pale in comparison to his majestic power. Deep within the labyrinthine depths of the Imperium resides a clandestine brotherhood known as the Illuminati, entrusted with the knowledge of the Emperor's lineage and the ever-dwindling flame of his existence. Despite relentless efforts to sustain the Golden Throne's machinery, these enigmatic custodians of esoteric wisdom hold within their grasp the secrets of the Eldar's downfall and the cataclysmic birth of the chaos deity Slaanesh, wielding the potential to sway the fate of all humanity. The Illuminati, guardians of forgotten lore, stand in staunch opposition to the looming catastrophe that once consumed the Eldar civilization, recognizing the perilous implications should humanity succumb to the seductive allure of chaos. They envision a grim future wherein a new, malevolent force of chaos emerges, threatening to tear asunder the fragile veil between realms and plunge the galaxy into an abyss of psychic storms reminiscent of the dreaded Age of Discord. Scattered throughout the stars are individuals of singular resilience, souls untainted by demonic corruption, who wield the power of their indomitable spirit to resist the encroaching darkness. Known as Sensei, these chosen few carry within them the bloodline of the Emperor, their destinies intertwined with the grand design orchestrated by the Illuminati. At the zenith of this cosmic reckoning, when the Emperor's corporeal form is on the brink of collapse, the Sensei will offer themselves as vessels, channeling their life force into the Emperor's essence. This sacrificial ritual will serve as the catalyst for the Emperor's rebirth, igniting the phoenix fire of renewal and heralding his triumphant return to lead humanity once more. According to the teachings of the Illuminati, the Emperor's physical and spiritual essence was sundered in the aftermath of his fateful confrontation with Horus. His immortal soul, stripped of its mortal vessel, now roams the tumultuous currents of the immaterium, a mere shadow of its former glory. Yet, within the annals of Illuminator lore lies the promise of a new incarnation, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. The ancient scrolls of the Illuminators recount the tragic schism that fractured the Emperor's being, leaving behind a faint echo of his divine essence adrift in the sea of chaos. The notion of the Star Child, embodiment of the Emperor's purest virtues, embodies the sacrificial love lost to him in the moment of his ultimate ordeal, when he was forced to confront the treachery of his beloved son, Horus. Though the concept of the Star Child has been vehemently denounced by the Holy Inquisition as heretical blasphemy, there are those who remain steadfast in their belief in the Emperor's eventual return. These faithful adherents maintain that the Emperor's spirit can be transmuted into a chosen vessel, heralding the dawn of a new era for humanity. Despite the Inquisition's relentless crusade against dissenting beliefs, whispers of the Star Child persist among the faithful, serving as a symbol of hope amidst the gathering darkness. While the true nature of the Emperor's destiny remains shrouded in mystery, the indelible mark he has left upon the galaxy ensures that his legacy will endure for millennia to come. As the pages of history continue to unfurl, bearing witness to the ever-shifting tides of fate, one can only marvel at the enduring enigma of the Emperor and the profound impact of his presence upon the tapestry of the Warhammer 40,000 universe.